is happening. It is Podcast Unlocked episode 70 what, Mitch? 74. Good memory. Good memory. I'm Ryan McCaffrey, your host, and joined by two co-hosts. It's like the right and left hand of the father.
This is the coziest we've ever been on Podcast
like,
Unlocked.
hey guys, what's going on? Mitch Dyer on my right, Naomi Kyle on my left.
Hello.
Destin Legary hanging out behind the camera. He's back there. Yeah, wait. It's been that kind of day. I have a half-eaten sandwich. This is lunch.
Good.
It's not over yet.
So he's going to make us do all the talking.
That's how this day has gone, yes. So, yeah, it's Thursday. We tried to record on Wednesday, but we had something better to do, didn't we,
We
Mitch?
did. We heard.
Do tell.
So we got to go see Wreck-It Ralph like 3 weeks ahead of time.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah.
Disney
Yeah.
was kind enough to put it on at LucasArts of all places, which is sort of an odd pairing.
It was the perfect pairing because I got to A, see Wreck-It Ralph early, which was nice, and B, go to Lucasfilm campus, which I will never get to go back to in my life.
What do you mean? I've been there a bunch of times. You'll
Oh,
get to
man.
go.
Yeah, you can go on the tours.
The thing is,
But
they-
LucasArts doesn't make games
Well,
anymore.
that's the problem. If they ever decide to actually create software,
Right, then we'll go back to Lucasfilm campus.
And I mean, allegedly, there's this Star Wars 1313 thing.
Yeah, we'll see.
So
We'll see.
maybe we'll get to go play that. But yeah, so you hadn't? I've been lucky enough to go to LucasArts before, and you know, we came up the elevator right into their sick lobby. So,
my God.
you were nerding out. I was.
Oh
watching
yeah,
it.
I mean everything in that lobby is just there's Boba Fett statues and Darth Vader statues and there's bookends that's just like Darth Vader choking that guy like, where's the ambassador?
Yeah,
that guy.
But actual Darth Vader, like the real
David Prowse's
real
costume.
costume.
Oh my god.
Yeah. There was I saw one person. The wife, I think it was the wife of someone there, had a Boba Fett jacket
Right,
on.
yeah.
Was standing next to the actual Boba Fett costume and taking a picture.
Yep.
I gotta
Oh
say,
my
it
God.
was a good jacket.
There was Luke's lightsaber from Jedi in a glass case.
Awesome. Millennium Falcon anywhere?
No Falcons. No, they kept that in the parking lot.
Yeah, so I was gonna ask, do they have like a life-sized one or?
That George Lucas flies it in every morning.
Oh, right, that whole thing. George Lucas, no.
So, yeah, Naomi, you were unable to join us for that, but
Yeah.
I trust you are interested in this film.
Yes.
How can you not be, right? It's made for all of us and anybody
And
watching
kids
this.
too, but it looks
Oh, well,
awesome.
forget them.
Yeah, children.
But yeah, it does look pretty awesome from just the trailer and everything. And I actually got a sneak peek of it before anyone knew about this movie, and this was like at the Sonic thing at Comic-Con. But yeah, it was cool. I mean, it looks cool. I just am jealous that you guys got to see it before me.
Mitchell, was it cool?
Yeah, I mean, I worried for a while that movie was going to rely way too much on its video game references. Because
Yeah.
the trailers are just constant. Like, look at this, look at this, look at this. Don't you know this? You like video games? Look, it's Sonic and it's M. Bison and Zangief. Don't you love this? And it uses that to great effect, but doesn't rely on it nearly as much as expected. Like, that movie has a heart and a soul of its own, and it is amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of the best movies of the year, far and away.
Really funny story, very
yeah.
sweet story as well.
Yeah.
Oh, I was welling up at the end, man. That
Oh,
ending is so
no.
nice.
It
So
was,
does it live up to like is it kind of the Pixar type
I equated it closer
feeling,
to
like,
Iron Giant.
emotional experience? Yeah.
Yeah, like
Well,
that's the closest.
I will say, somebody asked me afterwards what I thought of it, and I was like, yeah, or somebody said, oh, it was right up there with Pixar quality. And I was like, actually, it was better than the last Pixar movie I saw, which was Brave.
Brave was
Which I
Yeah.
thought was not that great.
no.
No.
It
So-
wasn't that great. I mean, visually, it's of course always
stunning.
They always, are
Yeah.
always up there. But I really think that Brave, just story wise, kind of went.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think we...
It was.
Did we
We
talk about
lambasted it
yeah,
on the
we,
podcast,
we
yeah.
did
You and I
this
had a good
already,
rant.
So.
It was cliche. Yeah.
But
Okay.
this movie was not. It was actually it stood on its own with or without video games.
Yeah,
But
totally,
the video game
absolutely.
stuff totally just made it for
Yeah,
me.
oh,
I mean,
yeah.
that's it was fun trying to find all the Easter eggs.
Oh, there's
in the
tons.
film.
Yeah, you
There
will
were-
never
there
see them
were-
all in one go.
Yeah, that's the thing. There were, you can only get so many on the first viewing, especially when we're sitting in the back, Mitch.
Yeah.
You're like, let's sit as far back as we can.
That's the way to watch movies. You sit as far back as possible in the center, and you get the whole view.
Well, we did that, and I hope you were happy.
I was. That movie has amazing 3D, by the way.
It was good 3D.
I loved it in 3D. It was the
It was
first
good
movie I've ever
3D.
not hated myself after.
Really?
when
Did you
in-
see Dread?
No. Dread was in 3D?
Yeah.
So that was the
Wow.
name of the film, wasn't it? Dread 3D.
Dread 3D.
Oh, I've only ever heard people say Dread, and I've like never seen a poster or an ad.
I am the law. Come on. Oh, wrong Dread, right?
Yeah.
But it was that was a good one in 3D. But I'm
All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, definitely. I think it was November 3rd, I believe, is when the film.
Yeah, second or third.
Second or third. Definitely recommend it. It was an excellent film for both us video game folks and if you have young kids as well. It's good kids. There is one I thought sort of scary monster guy in it. I don't want to spoil it necessarily. That I thought that maybe if you do have little kids, you might be a little bit
The thing at the end.
wary. Yeah,
Yeah, that was weird.
yeah, that was a little.
I was a little frightened.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, what just happened? But so if you have kids super young, maybe like 4 or 5, that you might want to go into a prevent defense on that and maybe just shield their eyes or something, and you'll kind of figure out when that part's coming up.
Did you find it to be like a weirdly sad movie? Like the whole time, I just felt like everyone in it was just kind of like, it's very deliberately this way, but people are bad people. They're not nice. Everyone's kind of selfish and greedy and wants what they want. And the writers write these characters so well, or I guess this is probably just one screenwriter. They write them in such a way that they get into problems that you don't know how they're going to get out of. And I haven't seen that in a film in forever. Because normally they get into an issue and you're like, this is how they're going to resolve it, and then they do. But with this, I was like, oh man, this is bad. How are they going to get out of this? I don't know.
It's funny that you say everybody's selfish. So was that in itself a microcosm? Was that a commentary on video gamers? Because it's all over the internet. It's just a bunch of selfish trolls.
Yeah.
Was that really what they were trying to say?
This movie goes deep.
I understand it so much better now.
Yeah, I can't recommend it enough. I'm going to go see it again when it's out.
Yeah. I mean, I would disagree with you only in the nitpicky point that I don't think the 3D was amazing. Okay. I thought it was good. It's fine, but I wouldn't necessarily spend the extra coin on the 3D. I mean,
it's unnecessary, but it was. Yeah.
But like great film. Great film for sure. Very worth it. It's one of the few films I would recommend actually seeing in a theater this year instead of just waiting till it comes out.
Sure.
And buying it at home. So, anything else going on with anybody this week? You've been gone a lot, haven't you?
Yeah. Well, I was in Austin, Texas. I was doing an AMD event there. They had like a fan day. I don't know if you know AMD.
Oh, yes. I have one of their processors in my home computer.
There you go. So they had a bunch of booth setups with like...
whatever Dan from GameSpy was kind enough to give me, which was an AMD Athlon FX.
Yeah, I actually don't know a lot about the inner workings of computers, but I was just there basically emceeing the event, and it was really cool. But I was there for like just maybe a day and a half. But they had a bunch of fans coming in. They had like all their computers set up. I got to see Ty Root. Do you guys know
I love Ty Root.
Yeah, he's awesome.
I miss Ty Root. I never worked with him, but I still miss him.
I miss him a lot. He's the one who like got me my job here. So he was there showcasing his game, which I forget the name, but they had
Loadout.
Is it Loadout?
Yes,
yeah.
I almost forgot, but then it was
the funniest game, like looking game there.
Yeah.
Like it looked.
Loadout looks
awesome.
rad. It's a free-to-play shooter on PC, and it looks awesome.
Yeah. So he was there showcasing that.
And Austin's a fun town, isn't it?
Austin's beautiful.
It is.
Yes.
It's not Texas, really. It's like some weird other nation within Texas, I feel.
That's what a lot of people were telling me. And I've only ever been to Austin and
Dallas
Texas.
is bad. Don't go to Dallas.
Okay. Well, I've only been there through like layovers and stuff. So.
I'm going to get emails from listeners for hating on Dallas.
Oh, no.
Yeah, why are you hating on Dallas?Id Software is not going to talk to us anymore, you realize. Gearbox, they're out of the picture. Way to go, Mitch.
But yeah, that's what I've been doing. And then, of course, I had my vacation that I took to Mexico. So
oh, really?
Cool.
I thought you were at New York. I figured you were at New York Comic-Con.
Well, that was the plan. But then since that fell through, I ended up just saying, hey, fuck it. If you guys are in NYCC, like... NYCC. I'm using Twitter terms here. Twitter
if you guys
hashtags.
are hashtag NYCC.
New York Community College?
What? I'll be in Mexico. Hashtag fun.
There
I
you
just
go.
speak as if I'm on Twitter all the time.
I'm going to block you.
It's over, Mitch. But yeah, I figured everyone was there having their fun, and I was super jealous, and so I was just like, I'm going to go to do something crazy, and so I went to Mexico.
Did you get recognized by any fans down there?
No, it was an all-inclusive resort, so I just stayed there, and like, I didn't have a phone the whole time, so I was like cut off from everything.
That's wonderful. I'm so jealous.
Although my Twitter average has definitely gone down, sadly. 5 days blackout. So.
Our own Destin Legary was tweeting about some website or app he found that actually tells you how much Twitter time?
So I'm the one who showed it. And because somebody on my Twitter feed showed me that. And so it's like this endless loop, and they're actually smart in promoting that. Because the minute you press on it and you're like, okay, yes, calculate, you enter your name and you calculate the amount of hours you've been on Twitter, and then it instantly tweets it on your account.
Ooh,
and there's no way of stopping it.
Nope. I was going to say, like, there's no way I'm doing that because I'm just going to feel really horrible about myself after.
Well, mine was like 28 hours or something.
Oh, my God.
That's
Destin's
over
was like
a day.
31. Was like 31.
31?
I guarantee mine would be higher. Because like when I was freelancing, I tweeted a lot because I was on Twitter all day, like reading all the conversations, talking to everybody I could. It's probably a depressing number that I'm never gonna check.
Yeah, don't do that.
I'm just gonna feel bad about myself.
And Mitch, you've actually been in the office for once over the last week instead
it's been
of
weird.
Abandoning me.
I've been playing video games too, which is another weird phenomena.
Which is the best part of our job.
Correct.
So yeah, we're actually setting aside time during the day now because otherwise we literally cannot keep up. Yeah. I know it seems weird that we have jobs that involve writing about video games and we have to set aside time to actually play video games, but it's true. It's between trying to actually running the website, the stupid website gets in the way of the actual video game playing.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mitch, I don't know. We're probably not allowed to say what we've really been doing just yet. But
I mean, there are two things on my desk I can't talk about. I finished Dishonored.
Nice.
Which is amazing. One of my favorite games maybe ever.
So
really?
you're in agreement with IGN's 9.2 review.
I may have even gone higher.
Look at you.
I really love Dishonored. Like, I can't wait to go back and play through it again. Like, I'm playing on PC, so I'm going to turn off the HUD, I'm going to put it on the hardest difficulty, and I'm going to go through non-lethal.
Oh, boy.
So I'm going to limit myself in every way possible. And I'm really excited not only to play like with a different play style and get a different ending, but the way you interact with the world and the way the world presents itself is drastically different. Like, full-on missions will be totally different based on the way you play.
Nice.
Like, I watched the good ending after I got the bad ending, and it was like, oh, this mission is... Like, I didn't play this. This did not happen for me. I'm so excited.
I'm still early on. I'm in the first actual assassination in that game, but
I'm so excited for you guys.
At first I was a little unsure. I was like, during the
prison break.
Initial scene, I was like, okay, I think this is gonna be good. Because going into it, I was like, this is totally my kind of game. It's Thief married to Bioshock, which is like the greatest thing of all time.
A little bit of Deus Ex spiced on top.
Yeah. And then, that first bit, I was like, okay, I think this will be good. But now that the actual assassination has started, and basically they let me loose in the sandbox, I'm like, okay, here we go. This is gonna be this is really good. So
are you ready for this? I know
I'm ready.
You're waiting for me to do it.
I'm ready.
So it has a Far Cry 2 system in it where you have a mission, but you can add a different variable to it by talking to someone else. So you will go somewhere, talk to somebody, and say, yo, if you do this a different way, you can get this thing. So that's kind of how they present non-lethal options during assassination missions. But there are also all sorts of other benefits you can get, whether it's just collecting runes to get new skills or other things
getting
like that.
Malaria.
Right. Oh, man. That's what Dishonored is missing, is malaria and gun jamming. Yeah, so it's just cool to have those variables where you go in expecting one thing, and then you're presented with this option, and you go, ooh, do I poison that glass? I don't know what'll happen if I do. Let's find out. Why not? And you go for it. And also, like, there's just so much to that game that even with 2 full playthroughs, you will not see everything you need to.
Well,
great.
I hope. I mean, it's reviewed incredibly well.
Yeah.
And I just hope the sales translate because, as I've said on this show before, I am concerned for that game just given the track record of new IPs launching during the holiday. It's a very spotty. It's a very mostly sad track record sales-wise.
Yeah.
So hope it pans out. Anything else? So you're playing Dishonored, and
I only played through like 40 minutes of it, to be honest. But I like it so far visually. It's really well put together, and I don't know. I like the gameplay. It reminds me a lot of Bioshock.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm gonna have to play through it a little bit more just to give you a better rundown.
I will. It's interesting. Which system? Which platform are you playing on?
Oh, I'm on Xbox.
Xbox. Yeah. See, it's funny. It's funny. I actually find it a little disappointing visually on Xbox.
Well, I played it a bit on PC at the Austin, Texas AMD event.
Yes.
So I do agree, actually. There was a lot of things I was like, it doesn't seem the same. Like, there's little
It's very
nuances,
washed out. The textures are washed out and kind of low quality on Xbox.
It's really
it feels
sharp
like
on
an
PC.
Xbox game. Like,
it definitely the art direction saves it on Xbox.
Absolutely.
The phenomenal art direction saves the visuals. But
it still looks good, by the way.
I love the world. I can't wait to
It's just not... I'd seen it previously, like you. I'd seen it previously on PC and was like, wow, this is a super pretty game. And so when I finally got the Xbox version in hand, I was like, oh, this isn't quite as pretty as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Word of advice for you guys and anybody listening who's planning on playing Dishonored, use the heart. Use the heart all the time, always on every character.
All right.
You will learn so much about that world that you did not expect at all.
I heard something about whales, but I'm not sure if that's like a spoiler or anything. So
everything in the world, whales are fuel.
Okay.
The world runs on whales.
All right.
Actually,
Good to know.
We have a Dishonored-related question from a reader.
Oh,
I guess a listener, if you're reading this.
Shall we take it now?
Whoa. Yeah, why not? We'll
all right.
Make them part of the conversation.
Yeah.
Sean says, hey, Unlocked Crew, my question is, newer releases such as XCOM and Dishonored came from more PC gaming-oriented backgrounds. XCOM, hardcore strategy game, and Dishonored from a Deus Ex-inspired background. The great thing about these two is they seem to offer
Take two and
The great
action.
thing about these two is they seem to offer a more accessible experience without being dumbed down. Do you guys feel that games seem to get dumbed down more than they used to in the past?
Oh, of course.
Really?
I totally agree.
Every game is, I mean...
XCOM's a perfect example. The original XCOM was incredibly complicated, like needlessly so.
You know, I went back earlier this year because I just got the itch and reinstalled. Of course, it took me an hour to get it to work because it's so old, but I reinstalled and played Thief 2. Started Thief 2 again, which is from... 97 or 99, so yeah, maybe 98. And the game, back then you got a thick, awesome manual in the box, and you were expected to read it.
Right.
And it actually, for me, it was part of the experience. Like as mom and dad would drive me home, or as I would be on, you'd read it on your way home.
Yeah.
And then when the game starts, you're thrown right in.
And you know how to play. Yeah. You know how the world operates.
And games now, not only do they not include manuals at all, actually it's...
Well, you can get everything online, to be fair.
We can, but there's really nothing presented directly to you that's in literature form, electronic or paper.
Right.
And now it's games are so hand-holdy now that the whole usually first 20 to 60 minutes of any game is a tutorial, and many of them I hate.
I've been playing something for the past 6 hours, an upcoming game.
Yeah.
That is 6 hours of tutorial.
You're
6 hours.
Exaggerating.
No, I'm not. I'm 6.5 hours into this game, and it just got to the point where it's like, all right, have fun.
Is this called Final Fantasy 13?
And oddly enough, no, it is not.
Well,
6
that
hours
sounds
is
bad
impressive.
to me. That sounds...
Yeah.
So you don't think games have been dumbed down?
I think people more and more now that we have so many gamers around, I feel like most developers are trying to make it so that the games are as good. Like, I just feel like they're trying to make it even more complex and more real to life. Like, I feel like some mechanics in games now just wouldn't apply. Like, maybe back then they did apply, but now they don't. And so they're fixing those problems these days to make games that are just smarter.
Right.
You know?
So, I mean, the thing is that systems in games are getting way more complicated. Games are getting way more elaborate. Like, Dishonored's a perfect example where you have like a dozen different skills that all function in different ways and work together in different ways and let you do different things depending on how you want to play. It's such an open-ended experience that it's almost overwhelming. But the way it's presented to you is very simple. The menus pop up and say like, hey, if you look up, you'll see places you can go, or you can go underneath. Like, it spells it out for you saying, you can do this, 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 or this, as opposed to letting you discover it on your own.
Are there games that you would say kind of do that now, though?
That don't, like, that just kind of give you free reign?
Yeah.
Dishonored
or
does
that
a good
don't
job.
explain a
Aside
lot.
from the
and
pop-ups, yeah.
Like, I feel there's some games, like, maybe Resident Evil 6 or something, but, like, that they don't always, like, tell you exactly what you're supposed to do, and you're supposed to just try over and over until you get how to do it.
I mean, the XCOM tutorial is really quick, really brief, gives you an idea of how cover works, how the percentage works for, like, your chance of getting a kill or landing a shot. But after the first mission, it kind of just throws you into it. It's like, all right, take your squad and go. Figure it out.
Right.
And you will lose if you're not very careful. And you just kind of have to figure out a lot of that stuff by mistake.
Right.
Well, I guess we can agree to disagree.
We can... Maybe, yeah.
But gaming's getting better, though, on the whole, for sure.
I don't think that dumbing down is a... I mean, I understand what the term means, but I think it has that negative connotation because we say dumbing down. And it doesn't necessarily mean that games are dumber because of it. It's just the
well,
way
they try to
present
reach a
themselves.
broader audience
Exactly.
by doing that.
Correct.
But the game itself might not necessarily be dumbed
Yeah.
down. Like, it might be an actually very complex, very difficult game.
Yeah.
Well, I love this. This went somewhere I totally didn't expect.
That's a
good question,
And now
Sean.
we're-
Thank you.
We're like 20 minutes into the show already.
We should have a bigger
You can
discussion
reach us
about it.
and ask us a question at unlocked@ign.com.
Please
Send
do.
your questions to that address.
Or
All
tweet.
right. Yes, tweet. Actually, before we have to bid Ms. Kyle adieu. Unfortunately, she's got somewhere else to be.
More important things to do.
Yes, more
I'm
important
sure.
things than our humble little podcast here. So please follow Naomi Kyle at Naomi Kyle on Twitter.
Straight up.
That's easy enough.
Yep.
NaomiKyle. And hopefully we will see you again very soon. We love
Yes.
your appearances here. And as
I
do our
want to
listeners.
make it a point to always come back here.
And now you're on video too, so
I know.
yeah.
It's perfect.
It's
it
all,
all kind of fit
whether,
together.
You know, it's you've got me and Mitch on like the gross nerd side of things, and then like a real person over here.
You guys are adorable, and I love you guys.
Well, that is
I'll take
mutual. Yes, we'll definitely take it. Thank you, Naomi, and we'll be back with a couple of key Xbox news items of the week.
IGN's Xbox 360 podcast, the podcast Unlocked presents the News Unlocked!
All right, we have returned with the news. I've still got food in my mouth, trying to shove the rest of that sandwich down in my face during the break here. So, Mitch.
I like that we record this. I get so many good screen caps.
There is hidden footage of
I'm just
Ryan
gonna
just
start
shoveling a
tweeting
sandwich
them.
in his face.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, we can
Oh yeah, I'm back. Hi.
Yeah,
Hi, Dustin.
suddenly
You're not Naomi.
Naomi got a lot
Manlier.
different looking. Well, yeah, you,
Handsome.
oh my goodness. Let's just leave that one by itself. Would one of you gentlemen, while I continue chewing and finish this thing up, tell us about only really a couple big news items this week,
Okay.
one of which being the new Xbox Holiday Bundle.
I actually don't know what's in that. Destin, nope, yep, you're
Planner?
turning it to
I
me.
stole all the scripts.
All right, let me just 250 gigabyte Xbox 360 with Kinect.
Come on, man.
All right,
Get with the program.
with some heart. Okay, so for the holiday, there is a new Xbox 360 bundle. There's actually a few of them. One of them comes with Dance Central 2, Kinect Sports, Kinect Adventures, and 1 month of Xbox Live Gold for $400. It's a very Kinect-centric bundle, actually. 250 gigabyte 360 with Kinect. Would anybody here buy that if they didn't have a Kinect?
Well,
Does that sound
I
appealing
live
to you?
in this place called San Francisco.
Right, I've heard of that.
And there's not a lot of space.
No,
No.
So
no,
nope.
there's not. I have like a pretty decent sized apartment.
You know what?
And I still don't like Kinect sucks to use in my apartment.
You know what? I'm actually moving though this week. I've been moving all week.
Right.
Into the city, so I'll be in
Your
the
new
city
place is
Sunday.
sizable.
Yes. Maybe.
You might be able to pull it off.
I really like Dance Central.
So this comes with Dance Central 2 rather than 3.
a meth lab.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I really like Dance Central, and I am starting Meth Lab. Let's
It's perfect. The timing has never been better, Destin.
So I guess I should get the Kinect bundle.
There's another bundle. It's actually like way more geared toward kids. It's a 4 gigabyte 360 with Kinect. It comes with Kinect Disneyland Adventures, which I heard was really good.
It's actually like I reviewed it at my last job.
Is that the one where the characters wear the skin of the other Disney characters?
What?
Did you not see it? Maybe
Did
this
you
is a
have a
different.
terrible nightmare as a child?
No, there's a
Come
real
here,
thing.
Elmo.
So that's not Disney. That's Sesame Street.
Yeah, there are costumes and you
No,
can
no.
dress up like
Right.
Peter Pan and stuff.
Right. So you wear the skin of Stitch over your head, and it's like his.
No, it's just a costume over your in-game avatar.
It's really haunting, is what
It's
it is.
not at all.
Did you
Mitch
like-
is coloring it in a very strange way that I don't understand.
Nobody will ever be able to look at those again.
But the short
the same
version
way.
is that game. It's a great concept. You can wander around the entire park, and then they
Right.
have some, unfortunately, mostly crappy mini games themed around some of the rides.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's
not surprising.
disappointing, just like the real Disney.
Well, I love Disneyland in real life. That's why I was excited to review the game.
Right.
And the recreation of the park is really cool when you're just walking around the
Okay.
park. But yeah, the mini games are kind of disappointing, and then just the controls of how you move around the park. You actually we're on camera.
Hey,
so I
you can
just do
actually
this.
show us.
So you actually point to where you want to go because their justification when they showed it to me before it came out was like a kid points like I want to go over there. So the game you're pointing your way around, but when you're in a tight quarter like trying to if you get it doesn't really work very well in practice. So I hate to say it because this is sort of a almost cliche thing at this point, but that game would have been way better with a controller. Like
Right.
it's not a game like a Dance Central or a Fable the Journey that is totally rocks with Kinect.
Right.
It's a great idea that would have been way better as a controller game.
So who developed it? Who designed the game?
It's actually the guys Frontier in the UK who did Connectimals.
Okay.
Those
I mean,
same
and
same
Connectimals
crew.
was
It was a good game.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Well, you brought
Not
up
for us,
you
but-
brought up Disney and pointing, and I know Disney like really pays attention to like stuff like that, and it's interesting they picked up on kids like, oh,
Yeah.
I want to go there.
Well, yeah. Again,
Well, I was saying that because like Disney, they point with 2 fingers on purpose because it's less authoritative, or even 3 fingers.
Huh.
They
I
use,
feel like
the
that's
whole
like
hand.
way more
'Cause it's-
authoritative.
Well, no, it's more like over here, you know,
Okay.
or like over here, you know, as opposed to go there. You know, it's like a little
Children are like, over there.
yeah, it's a little psychological thing that Disney
Okay.
does.
I will say there's a lot of really neat collectible stuff in Connect Disneyland Adventures around the park. There are actual in real Disneyland. There are hidden Mickey faces
Yeah.
around, and they're all over the game. And there are a lot of neat hidden collectibles. But it's definitely
Do you skin them and wear them? And, according.
if you buy this bundle, I would recommend not playing Connect Disneyland first. Like play one of the
Connect
other
Adventures?
Connect Adventures
Yeah.
or Dance Central, something where you'll.
This one just comes with Disneyland and Connect Adventures.
Oh,
The last one
Oh,
is
the
Dance
fir-
Central, Connect
okay.
Sports, Connect Adventures.
all right. Well, what you said then.
Yeah. This one is interesting because it also comes with a month of live, and neither of these games are live compatible.
Well, it doesn't matter. They want to get that running into
yeah,
your
exactly.
veins as soon as possible.
So that bundle is $100 cheaper at $300. And then the last one is something I suspect our listeners are going to care more about. Is a 250 gigabyte 360 with Skyrim and Forza 4 and a month of live for $300.
You know what's
Well,
interesting?
That's an
something I'm
incredible
interested
bundle.
in. Yes.
Yeah, that's a great bundle.
Yeah.
Well, wait. This says Forza 4 Essentials Edition.
Oh.
What does that mean? That sounds like
It means it's all the essential needs that you'll need for Forza.
I feel like that has to be like their, like not Game of the Year edition, but like here's Forza 4 plus a bunch of DLC. That has to be that.
See, I think what Destin's saying and what I was thinking too is that sounds like it's less than what was in the original retail package.
They're so tricky with the English language.
They
the
are.
collector's edition has everything, but the essentials.
I'm going to
only
investigate
has
this
the
while
Also,
we
uh,
news.
I do know for a fact the Skyrim, it's a download code. You don't actually get the
Really?
disc. You have to download
Really?
Skyrim. Yeah.
Well, there's like half your hard drive space.
Well, no, because it's 250 gigabyte hard drive, which is gigantic, and Skyrim cannot
And-
possibly be more than.
and they
9
do
gigs.
give you the
Well, it's
gold
5.
subscription for a month, so
Yeah.
you just need to not blow through your internet provider's bandwidth cap if that's applicable to you.
So let's say Skyrim's like 4.5 gigs.
It's bigger.
The DLC's 4 gigs apiece.
That's
12 gigs.
Does it come with all the DLC in Skyrim?
I
I
don't
doubt it.
know.
No, there's no
okay.
way it would come with Dawn
All
Garden
right.
Hearthfire.
No,
I'm looking
so-
up. I'm looking
The
up
best
this
DLC
essentials.
ever, Hearthfire, I think is what you meant to say.
How much is that, Mitch? How much was
That
that
one. That one's $300.
So $300 for a 250 gig with Forza 4 and
Yeah,
Skyrim.
and Skyrim.
That's
Well,
not bad at all.
Like if you need to, I mean, I'm to the point now where I have an Elite that is like slowly dying. It's on its way out. The drive is getting loud. Things are not running as. Yeah, exactly. That dog is getting ready to be put down. So something like that is really appealing.
I'll do it, Ma.
Well, I got an Elite with Indiana Jones Lego Edition, and I'm pretty happy with it. 120 gig hard drive,
Not bad. What was the collection? What else came in? There was one that was like a.
Kung Fu Panda.
There was like
the
100
second
Yeah.
game that I
No,
got.
which one came with Pure and there was something else? That was a really good bundle.
Oh, yeah.
I think
That
it was another Lego
3 or
game.
4
What
years
was
ago.
Pure? I don't remember.
It was an outstanding
awesome.
quad ATV game.
It was fantastic. If you can find Pure.
okay.
That game is
Yeah.
like $10 now. Go play Pure.
Unfortunately, that studio is one of
they're
many
long
this
gone.
generation that has been shut down. A lot of talent, though. I believe BlackRock was the name of that studio. Memory serves me correctly.
Correct, yeah. Also, the internet. So if you Google Forza 4 Essentials Collection, there's like nothing. It's just a bunch of people on the internet going, "What is this?" No idea.
Well, if you buy the bundle, let us know. Unlocked at IGN.com and tell us if it's some sort of weird shortchanged version of.
Like the Gran
Of
Turismo
Forza.
5 demo that you paid for.
Yeah, basically. All right. So the other real major news item of note this week
This
is
is the Infinite Collector's Edition.
well, I wasn't gonna go over that just because it's more of a visual thing.
Did you buy one?
Nope.
Well, are you going to?
Nope.
Oh man, you're I did.
Fine, I guess
out?
we're gonna go over
Apparently
it,
we're
so
doing this
Sorry,
now.
I
Let's do
know,
the
I know.
story.
So now Destin has to put the video in. Or image.
I know I'm punishing myself. I don't care.
All right. So Destin brought it up. There was a $150 edition of Bioshock Infinite.
Check out these 3D effects I'm doing with the
Whoa,
images.
Destin, this looks hot. So it comes with
Barn doors, what? Sorry.
Of course, Bioshock Infinite, which comes out
Maybe someday.
Maybe, yeah. We'll see if it's out in February.
Let's see. It lists the release date here as maybe.
Yeah, maybe 2013. That's my
Right now
favorite
I'm
month.
flashing the release date on the screen.
And then it comes with a bunch of
And your
trinkets.
Twitter
like there's
handle below.
Yeah, there you go. There's it comes with a vigil on a keychain, that little black tonic thing that
To
Okay.
drink alcohol out of.
Right, yeah. That'd be awesome if it's a secret little flask.
Well, isn't it?
I don't know if it opens. The one Andrew has on his desk downstairs does not open. It's
Oh.
just like a resin container.
Well, what good is it? Let's hollow it out and cut the top off and
Yeah.
chug booze from it.
So it also comes with a little heavy hitter figure. If you know what the heavy hitters are, they're just like one of the mini bosses in Bioshock Infinite.
Yeah.
There's like a little art book that looks cool and like a bunch
Okay.
of little trinkets. But man, there is a 9-inch resin statue of the songbird that is amazing.
Oh, nice.
It's like 9 inches is like that big. Mm-hmm. The thing has a massive wingspan. Like, I'm getting too far from my mic because I'm getting so excited. It looks awesome. It's just this amazing, beautiful little figure. If you go to the Irrational website, you can pre-order now. It's also available on Amazon soon. But on Irrational's website, there's like a 360-degree camera turnaround look at the item.
Yeah.
Oh, it's sexy.
So you've taken the plunge?
I've spent $160 on Bioshock Infinite.
That's how much it was?
Yes.
Wow.
With
okay.
tax and shipping?
With tax and shipping, yeah.
I have to ask you guys a question,
Hi.
and it's something that I did a long time ago.
Okay.
I stopped buying collector's editions because I had no more room for the shit
I'm in the
that
same
comes
boat.
with collector's
I
editions.
have a work desk now.
Yeah.
That's where all the bullshit from games goes.
On my desk, so I've got a Halo 3 helmet.
Mm-hmm.
Under my desk, because I'm out of room, is the Halo Reach figure
Yeah.
group of figures.
Right, yeah,
They all die, by the way.
And spoilers. They're dead. Also, they
None
suck.
of them made it.
I wonder if they're in Halo 4. Probably not.
Unlikely. And then what's the other? Oh, I actually, from my last job, I left it behind because I had so many of these. I think I gave up to our very excited intern. The Gears of War 3 Marcus Phoenix.
That thing was
yeah.
awesome.
Which is awesome. Don't get me wrong.
It's like
The
this tall, huge.
The statues are great. The helmets are great. And all those collectibles are great. I just had this big pile of shit on top of my DVD.
Yeah.
I had the Batarang. I had my Halo helmet. I had like action
the
figures.
Batarang was really dumb with
Yeah.
Arkham City.
Because they had it attached.
Or
'cause
Arkham
little
Asylum.
kids would like throw it at each other.
The Arkham City statue is awesome. That's
Yes,
that's in
it
my
is.
house. I
It
have
is.
that black
And,
and
like,
white Batman statue. Oh, it's so cool.
They look phenomenal. Like they were really taking care in their pre-order statuettes
Yes.
and stuff like that. But I'm just like, I don't have room for this.
Yeah.
Do I really need another statue that I'm never gonna look at?
So Andrew has a related question. So I was wondering, do you guys hang on to games forever or get rid of them when you've had your fill? He remembers one week someone mentioned a high percentage of gamers don't even finish their games. I've had a half dozen games which I'm hanging on to because I want to either finish them or round them out for the Chivos.
Yeah.
But he's waffling on whether to trade them in or for great games or to hang on to them.
Okay.
Go
Sorry.
ahead, Destin.
Sorry.
I was to say, for me, I kind of, when I'm done with a game, I do sort of I take a minute and think about, if I really like this game, am I ever going to want to play this again?
Right, yeah.
And sometimes the answer is no, and I'm like, okay, well, I'll just trade this in or give this to somebody or whatever. But because when the end of a generation comes, like I had to pare my Xbox One collection down from dozens upon dozens to like single digits.
Yeah.
Like, okay, Splinter Cell Chaos Theory, you made the cut. Breakdown, you made the cut. KOTOR, you made the cut. But yeah, a lot of stuff had to sort of like, nope. So I could keep this and it could live in a box in my garage,
Yep.
but I will never, ever, ever touch this in any way, shape, or form ever again. And I'm about at that point. With the imminent Xbox 720 coming up next year, I'm gonna have to do that again with my 360 collection.
As I mentioned earlier, I am moving.
Yes.
And I'm realizing I am a disaster of a person.
Dude, so having recently moved from another country, I had the same problem where I was like, what am I doing with all this shit? Why do I need these cases? So
Where
what I did-
Customs was like, do you have anything to declare? And Mitch is like, do I?
You guys want to go through these one by one?
Do you have all day?
Yeah.
So what I did, I came to like this. I made a big boy decision. It was just like I am throwing all of my cases in the garbage.
Oh my god.
Any games that I want to keep are just going in a binder. So my binder, my entire game collection is like this big. It's very tiny.
I collected comics for years. I can't do that, man.
That's why I'm all digital now for comics. Like, the future is awesome because I have so much space. It's great.
I'm digital with comics too, but like I'm a collector still. I still have that collector thing. So like I have all the Assassin's Creed in their boxes together, alphabetical order on my shelf. God. And what's really bad is I have my PS3 60 gig box for the PS3 still.
No, throw in the garbage. Recycle that.
My 360 Elite, I still have the box it came in. So if
give those to homeless people to live in.
So if I ever sell it, I can put it back in the box, like in the original packaging.
I'm sure that somebody who buys your PlayStation is going to be like, hey, wait a minute. Where's the box?
Oh, yeah.
And I like that you said, if I ever sell it, which will probably not happen.
I still have a Sega Genesis. I have my first Super NES.
That's impressive.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
By the way,
I have everything.
I was, as a kid, I always had to trade in my system. My parents would always be like, you can have whatever system we want, but you can only have one at a time. We're not buying you can't have more than one.
Yeah.
So I always had to trade in the last one to get the next one. And so
I do that too.
So several years ago, I went, boy, I really miss my TurboGrafx CD. I had so many great memories of that. So I bought one from a friend of mine, and unfortunately the CD-ROM drive broke. So if anybody out there knows how to repair a TurboGrafx CD-ROM drive or knows where to get one done reliably, where some dude won't just take my CD drive and run, unlocked at IGN.com. Help me out. Anyway, what were you saying? You had
I'm a disaster of a person because I can't throw anything away.
So you have do you just not trade your games at all either? Like you just
I have
shit?
body count still.
Oh my god!
I have
Destin abort, dude. Mission abort.
Stuart
I have Avatar
Black
the
doesn't
game.
have a copy of body count.
I have Avatar the game.
Which one? Like the James Cameron one or the Last Airbender?
No, the James Cameron one.
Wow.
That was given to me. It's still sealed.
That's amazing.
So once I move, I've decided I'm selling stuff. I have like this life-size picture of Ryu throwing a Hadouken with down, 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 forward punch. And like it looks amazing, but it's in a tube in a poster box.
Bring it to the office. Hang it up somewhere here.
Yeah. So I'm actually bringing my Mass Effect standee that
I saw that on Twitter. Put that like right behind us so Shepard can be a permanent guest.
Yeah, he's a permanent guest on this show.
Love that.
So anyway, I'm moving. It's going to be really tough to get rid of.
Yeah, have fun with that.
I'm a pack rat.
This all started with a Bioshock Collector's Edition.
Anyway, that thing's available for a stupid amount of money if you want to buy it like an idiot like I did.
Or there's a $100 edition which has everything Mitch said except the Songbird statue.
Why would...
Which seems it seems like if you're going to do it, you got to go all out and get the Songbird statue.
I was kind of positive about like the dumb keychain and things, but like, come on, man. It's a statue of the Songbird. It's awesome. Buy that.
Mitch is like, I put on my big boy pants and got rid of all my
so
statue.
I could buy more garbage.
Yeah, got rid of your game boxes so that you could have more statues.
When IGN deports my ass back home, I'm gonna have to just leave everything that's on my desk for you guys, and you can fight over it like savages.
We will.
Yeah, don't worry about that. It'll make for good YouTube fodder. All right, the other story we were gonna do this week before we got sidetracked by Bioshock is the dashboard update. Some of you may have noticed that when you turned on your console, it prompted you for an update, and now your dashboard looks different. And for those of you who haven't yet received that prompt,
soon
it is they're rolling out over a few million at a time.
Yeah, by the end of like the next 2-3 weeks, everyone will be updated.
And they're doing this, by the way, so that they don't nuke their own servers by everybody hammering it at once.
Now, I've actually heard that the update's screwing stuff up.
Oh, great. Really?
Wow. Like, yeah, I saw that like there was some threads on the internet this morning.
Oh, you're not spreading hearsay on our podcast,
no,
are you?
Well, let me verify before I trash anything.
I read it on something awful.
Yeah. Okay.
Destin's going to do some research about what's going on.
Says the guy who before the show said no phones.
All right, so you do that. We'll talk.
It's related to the podcast.
While you do that, yeah. Ryan and I will talk about how dumb this dashboard is.
Yes, dashboard update.
It's kind of a disaster. I mean, it's
not a stop it.
All right,
stop it right now.
It's just so it doesn't break anything, which is our greatest love.
And it doesn't make anything worse.
Right.
It just adds new things that aren't really that great.
Sure, and I just don't think a lot of people, especially our listeners, are going to get a whole lot of use out of something like Xbox Music or Internet Explorer 9, because there are better versions of those things that exist elsewhere.
Yes.
Like, I don't understand, and maybe email unlocked@ign.com if you have an answer. I just don't know who the person is who's sitting on their couch going, man, I want to look at the internet on my Xbox and punch in a bunch of text on my keyboard with the joysticks and scroll through websites and read articles.
Yeah, keyboards aren't supported with 360, right?
No, he's talking about the virtual keyboard on the screen
keyboard
that you have to steer with your right thumb or left thumbstick.
Yeah.
Well, I know you can get the
chat pad.
The chat pad,
Yeah,
which
totally.
is something.
And IE9 does have voice support, but it's not nearly as efficient as you'd like it to be.
Yeah, you can't use it to actually say web addresses.
Right. Which is understandable because I'm sure it would mess something up if you were like, go to IGN.com. It'd probably...
EYEGEENN.
Yeah. Exactly, something like that.
Is that what you meant?
There's probably all sorts of phonetic stuff. But I mean, Bing exists. Why not just use Bing? To be able to say, like, Xbox, Bing this. And it, like, as far as we could tell, like, that doesn't work on IE9.
We tried.
Yeah, I also saw a friend messing with it, and it looked like there's some Flash support issues.
Yeah, there's no Flash support. And our engineers are now working toward getting IGN videos to load on it. So if you want to like go through our Halo 4 wiki and watch the map tours we're doing every Tuesday and Thursday. Well, soon, yeah, because I mean, you can't right now, but the engineers came over and tinkered with it at my desk, and we're like, all right, we know this, we know how to fix this now. So they're fixing it right now.
So
I have AT&T. So
IGN,
we're not finding out about the dashboard.
IGN will soon be, our new tagline will be optimized for Xbox 360 console viewing for all two of you.
On IE9.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of people have been asking for a browser for a long time.
Since the console launched.
So, and I assume that we have some people listening who are like really excited about IE9. So, please play around with IE9.
See,
let us know what you think. Unlocked at IGN.com.
I actually disagree with you in the sense that, yes, people have been asking for it for years, but I actually think no one actually wants it. I think they wanted it because it wasn't there.
Yeah.
I think it's a hollow benefit that they have no intention of ever actually using.
Okay.
So tell me if you're wrong, if I'm wrong.
And Xbox Music is the other major update, which I wrote about. You came and saw it with me.
Yes, I was there.
And it's an interesting service because long term, like if you look ahead a year with Windows 8, with Surface, with Windows Phone all updated and out, and with iOS support added, Windows Music or Xbox Music is great. It's a free service that you can use basically unlimited.
Yeah, ad-supported streaming.
Yeah, just like Spotify or Pandora.
Didn't you write an article that was like it's useless?
Yes.
So right now, Xbox Music is available right now, and you can get a free 30-day trial, or you can subscribe to the
$10 a month.
$10 a month, or $100 a year if you buy the year in advance. Now, what that gets you is 18 million songs, which is more than you would get if you get it for free, if you just use the free sub. And you can, long term, you can download songs, you can save it to playlists, and just have it on your device. But as it stands now, like there's no reason for an Xbox owner to use it. They are getting a hugely raw deal. Because Smart Glass isn't available.
Yeah. The other part of it was that you have to have Windows 8 to get anything, which, and particularly an Xbox or a Microsoft tablet, a Surface tablet. The iOS and Android apps, which is what all of us have, won't be out for they'll be out within a year, which means like 11 months and 29 days.
Yeah. I thought I misheard when they said that. I thought, within the year, so before 2030. No. Within a year. iOS support will happen. So, I mean, right now, for me, for Xbox Music, like I use Spotify religiously every day. And I'm a Spotify premium subscriber. I pay $10 a month. I get unlimited streaming. I get to save songs to my phone for offline play.
Yeah.
My Xbox Music has similar features in that you can save music. You can download it to your phone.
For when you're going through a tunnel or you're on a plane, right?
Sure, yeah. And even the streaming is great for that because when you start a song, it basically just downloads it on the spot. And then once you're done, it gets rid of it.
Yeah, caches it, essentially.
Yeah, so that way you don't get interrupted when you lose service like Spotify does. But, right now, like I have no interest in Xbox Music at all. The interface is not great. I can only use it on my Xbox right now because I don't have a Windows 8 PC. I don't have a tablet. I don't have Smart Glass. I don't have a Windows phone. There's no iOS support. It's just this laundry list of features that are just like counterintuitive to the idea.
And I did find out what people were having issue with. It is the Flash support and the fact that pinning doesn't work really well with Internet Explorer, IE9, and just the whole dashboard update in general.
We had no problems with pinning.
Yeah, pinning
things.
was working fine for us.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just saving items from one spot on your dashboard to another place, and it's just this amalgamated collection of, I want to watch MLB, I want to play Street Fighter, I want to play whatever game you're playing.
Yeah.
Bring back the blade system. Bring back the blades. That's all I gotta say.
You want the blades, man. You just hit that dashboard button in the center of your controller.
That's what I do.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I smell a Twitter movement. # bring back the blades. At Destin Legary says.
At Xbox. Let them know.
Well, so yeah, you're going to be getting the new dashboard update whether you want it or not, unless you decide to just unhook your console from the wall, in which case you're just delaying the inevitable, really.
But hey, it's features that you can use but don't have to, so that's nice.
So that's it for this week's major news items. I forgot to mention at the top of the show, because we already did it, we have 343 Industries' David Ellis on the show this week for an interview to chat up Spartan Ops and also his very checkered, very interesting past. You believe me, you will not. Yeah. You will be surprised at what David Ellis has to say.
It's a really amazing
in this interview. So hope you enjoy that, and we will be back after Mr. Ellis hangs out with us for a little. Well, I think we took care of the mailbag, didn't we? Or we got
we ran through those questions.
All right. Well,
we have one question we can go through.
Well, let's just do it now.
Want to do it now?
Let's just do it now.
All right. So the short version is that Dr. Eskimo wants to know what our favorite final missions are.
Ooh, good one.
Also, he says, you can call me Eskimo. I'm 29 and own a PhD in chemistry.
Good one, baby.
Thanks, Eskimo.
Eskimo
is a question.
Eskimo is A, smarter than me.
The doctor.
And
That's
B,
a fun question.
That's a good question.
That is a good question.
So my favorite, and we're going to get spoilery here for Red Dead Redemption. So, sorry if you haven't played it.
The statute of limitations is up on that game.
Yeah, the game's 2 years old.
I actually haven't finished it, but go ahead. I don't mind.
I don't want to do it anymore.
No, do it.
All right.
Do it.
Ryan, really?
I haven't finished it. I've played it. I haven't finished the story.
You're executive editor of Xbox, right?
I genuinely don't want to do it anymore because
I don't want you to do it because which part? The
after part.
I know
the after part's okay.
I've already been spoiled. I know what happens to Marston.
Fine. So after that happens, and you play as John Marston's son, like 20 years in the future, and you're going to avenge your father's death. And that mission was just incredible because you go to find the man who killed your father, and you shoot all of his cronies, you take him down, and you just find this guy fishing, doing his thing. Like, he's old, he's retired, he's done his term as a terrible asshole
he's gonna
FBI.
Die.
And you're just like, you're going down. You killed my father, you're going down. And it was just such a simple mission where you just walk up and you have a quick duel. But I mean, after 100 hours of me playing that game, it had built up so much about this character and the whole idea of redemption that it all just came together so well. And I deliberately went out of my way to use the 9mm pistol that character gives John Marston before. And I was just like, you're going down with the weapon you gave my father, and I'm using it against you to kill you.
Wow, dude.
After you've killed him.
Pretty cool.
And that came together. And I love that mission so much.
Justin?
Before that, when you bust through the barn door, I always think I still have a chance.
Yeah, you're just like, I can mark them all. I can do it.
I think I can mark them all. There's like 18 of them. Okay,
I messed up. Restart.
Yeah. And it was so hard to accept, like, that scene.
Yeah.
Okay, so my moment, I use this game all the time, but, like, I had stopped playing Mass Effect 1, big surprise. I know everybody's probably going to say. But anyway, Mass Effect 1, at the end, you go up the elevator and you stop, and they shoot out the elevator, and you start walking up the side of the building. And I'm just like, oh my God, I'm walking up sideways. It's sideways, and there's a Reaper. I can see him walking. And, like, I was just like, holy crap. Because I had put it down for, like, a year. And I come back a year later, I'm like, all right, I'm going to finish this. I do all the side quests and stuff. And then I'm just treated to, like, this huge ending sequence.
The entire third act of that game is amazing.
Yeah. From, like, Vermeer to credits.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Still my favorite game on Xbox.
Well, you took mine. That's a great pick.
Oh, man. Then later, with Saren.
Well, yeah.
Make him blow his own
brains out. And you can make him blow his brains out.
That's the first time I ever, like, stood up and yelled at a video game. Like, I genuinely just stood up and was just like, oh, my God!
Yeah.
Like, you can make the villain kill himself and not have to fight him? That's insane.
Can't have this conversation without Halo 1.
Okay.
The Warthog run. The Warthog run's incrable.
What a great escape.
It's... Yeah, particularly if you do it on Legendary and you get the goofy Legendary ending.
Right, yeah.
Well, looks like this is it. Hold me. It's great stuff. But I'll go back. This is one of the... for those of you who may have followed me over from my last job, you'd be like, oh my God, he's going to talk about this game again. Breakdown.
Breakdown, I knew it.
Breakdown. The final boss fight... in Breakdown is literally, it's 15 minutes of one-on-one. It's like two superhumans fighting each other. The boss's name is Solus. You and Solus going, like, just trading blows for it's I'm not even kidding, a 15-minute boss battle, and it's not hard, it's not easy. I mean, you're not like having to retry it 37,000 times. It is just an epic battle, and it was so great, and I love that game. And then going still back to the Xbox One era, definitely can't argue with the sort of end game parts of KOTOR 1 as well.
Yeah.
Where it's with the big twist with Revan and what happens, and it's God. Now I want to go play the game again.
Right.
Let's go do it.
Video games are good. Let's talk to David Ellis.
Let's do that, and then we'll be back with some trivia. We'll give away something, and we'll hit the road. So enjoy, Mr. Ellis.
The podcast Unlocked welcomes you to the feature segment.
I am very pleasantly surprised this week to be joined in studio by David Ellis of 343 Industries on a visit from Seattle, from the greater Seattle area.
Sunny Seattle to sunny San Francisco? What's
Yeah,
going on here?
What climate are we living
Maybe
in?
global warming's not so bad.
Maybe not in the Pacific Northwest anyway, Northern California. So anyway, David, yeah, you're here, you're in town. So I think maybe we'll talk about Halo 4.
Maybe.
That's
I've heard of
sort
that.
the thing.
We could talk about anything.
You're from 343, but what most people may or may not know is you used to work in this very company that Mitch and I now call home. You were at 1UP.
Yeah. Did some work for 1UP and did some work for EGM as well. We were part of what we lovingly refer to as the Ziff Davis Mafia in the old days. On 101 2nd Street. We were walking by the old office today on the way over here because, of course, all the major game media outlets are all on this one strip, this one 2nd Street in San Francisco. You just walk from one to the other.
Yeah.
Which makes doing media tours a lot easier
Right.
than it used to be.
Except
for Future, all the way
Gotta
down.
go all the way.
If anybody ever firebombed 2nd Street, there'd be a lot of job openings.
Yeah, no more game
in
journalism.
the
It's
games
just
media.
dead.
But so you're a Spartan Ops designer, a mission designer for Halo 4 at 343 now. But yeah, you used to do what Mitch and I do, the games media thing. So, it seems like most people that do this being what the games media thing, eventually cross over either to the PR dark side, like the total opposite of what we do, or into actual game development. And you've obviously gone over to the development side. Was it something that you actively wanted to do, like, maybe covering games? Did you feel like, boy, I really love the nuts and bolts of this, or were you recruited into it?
It's funny, like to add a little extra context, before I worked at 1UP and EGM, I've had a really, really weird career path. I studied government communications in college and actually worked in Washington, D.C.
Sleeping already.
I know, but I'm going to get there. It involves prison, stint in prison. I'm not kidding. I worked in Washington, D.C. as a political consultant and congressional staffer for 5 or 6 years, and sort of left that after the 2002 election. Moved back to North Carolina, where I'm originally from, just to try to figure out what the heck I was going to do in my life. I ended up working as a detention officer at a prison there for a couple of years, which, I'm glad.
So I should not start any shit with you. You will put me down.
He'll whip
on
out
the
a
ground.
baton.
I don't know about that. I did get stabbed once while I was in prison.
What? Is that true?
It's totally true.
Oh my god.
Where?
It's occupational in the shoulder, up to the
Whoa.
bottom of my
like
right.
with a shank?
Yeah,
Jesus
bottom of my right shoulder
Christ.
blade, and it went out the side of my arm. I still have like some scars. And stuff.
So when you get okay, you're the first guest we've ever had on that's been stabbed.
You are our first stab victim.
So where it was, did you ever think I'm going to die, or were you like, okay, no, it's shoulder, I'm going to be okay, but this hurts?
Well, so I was very fortunate. So basically, we're going down a weird path.
Yeah, let's go there. Let's go there.
We're gonna get there. It's just
that's
a long
what separates. For those tuning in, I actually filled in for Greg Miller. You can catch David and I on Up at Noon on YouTube.com/start. So it's important that we go to a totally different place than we did on Up at Noon. So let's get into the stabbing.
So to not go into too much of the gory details, but basically it was a retribution because I had thrown an individual into solitary for a while, and he spent a couple of months shaping the corner of a lunch tray into about an 8-inch shiv, and I made the mistake of...
So he really wanted to stab you.
Yeah. I made the mistake of allowing him to get behind me, which is something you absolutely shouldn't do and never do for various reasons in prison. But he pretty much, he was trying to stab me right in the middle of my back, right through the heart. And I happened to turn it in the last second, and he went right underneath my right shoulder blade and went all the way outside of my arm. Fortunately, it was plastic, so it didn't really do a whole lot of damage. Just sort of scraped a little bit around.
So someone legitimately tried to murder you.
Yeah.
This is the darkest we've ever gone.
That is...
It's not dark, because I got out of there, and I'm sure that jerk's still in prison. So
and now... he's gonna play Halo 4 in prison and see your name in the credits and be like, God damn it, I hate that guy. And it's going to ruin...
Or he'll be like, man, I'm glad I didn't kill that guy after all.
Halo for him.
Did I mention he was actually, at his heart, he was a really good guy. Sweet fellow. I didn't really want to hurt anyone, so please don't retaliate and try to track me down. I mean you no harm, sir. It turned out okay. But, I did that for a couple of years, and, just somehow stumbled into working at 1UP through... weird.
So
on
your resume, 1UP saw corrections officer. You'd fit in perfectly here.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I really hated my job. I hated what I was doing, and I liked video games. And Mark McDonald, who
former staffer there as well.
Yeah, he's the one who hired me, and I moved out to San Francisco. So a lot of people like to ask, like, how do you get in the industry? And ultimately, you have to be willing to make no money, do the shitty jobs, and take huge risks. I moved from where I was.
I don't know what that's
Carolina.
like.
Yeah, and live in the most expensive city in the nation.
I moved out here with $2,000 that my parents and family had sort of scraped together and basically gave me. No car, 2 bags, nowhere to live, to take a $10 an hour internship. I didn't even get hired full time when I started. It was an internship. Kate became full time, and just sort of slept on people's couches and mooched off people, and it worked out. But that's what it takes for those people that love to ask that question. It's like, how do you break in?
Oh, just jump off the cliff.
Yeah.
Just go crazy.
It's either going to work out or it doesn't, and you end up where you were before you gave it a shot.
So to break into the games media industry, you need to get stabbed.
Right.
It certainly doesn't hurt.
Well,
chicks dig scars.
It is kind of a reminder that what we do is really not. It doesn't really matter. It's
right, like the highest stress I have is like, I have so many words to write today.
I don't agree with that. It absolutely does matter, because when I was working in prison, I was listening to the podcast.
You're right. It's true.
And man, it gave me some escapism, and we forget that. I mean, don't get me wrong. What we do for a living, it's long hours, it's hard hours, and sometimes we don't necessarily get paid what we think we should get paid, but it doesn't suck.
No.
But, you can have the best job in the world and still have bad days you don't want to get up and go to work. It's just human nature. So, I hold a special place without Mark giving me that opportunity, and I certainly wouldn't be where I was today. So, kind of to answer your initial question.
So let's fast forward to So how do you break off to the game development side?
I worked at 1UP for a while, and then everyone, or a lot of people know that 1UP was owned by a different company at that point, and there were some layoffs, and basically the vast majority of the staff was laid off, and that was an unfortunate occurrence. So a lot of my friends just weren't there. We came into work the next day, and that sort of bummed me out, and it wasn't the same. I was still working with some really great people, was able to do some cool stuff, but it was very different. And so I was starting at that point to decide that I was thinking I was going to move on and do something else, and I had some other opportunities lined up, and actually 343, but actually before it was 343, approached me to take a different position, a more community-focused position, and that had kind of become a cliche at a certain point.
Like that job was just like kind of a joke because everyone was taking it and nobody knew what it was.
I mean, it's a tough job.
Sure,
nothing
absolutely.
but respect. I mean,
community manager
Chow, who was former 1UP as well, went and was community manager at Forza for a while. He's now a studio producer at our studio. It's a tough, thankless job, but yeah, it's right. No, most people don't really realize what community managers do, and I ultimately didn't want to necessarily just do the community stuff. I had come to a spot where I was either going to move to a different outlet somewhere, or I wanted to be involved with making the games. It was something that never really. It's nothing I ever thought I would do. It wasn't even anything I really aspired to, because nothing's worse than you know what it's like. So we used to do a media tours together, Ryan and Mitch, but you'll see some people who go there who it seems like their whole reason that they're in the press is to try to get a job in development, and that sort of always rubbed me the wrong way. Yeah, and it's ironic that I would say that, of course, but
those sketchy guys.
I always
pot calling the kettle black.
I know, but I always tried to. I don't know. I no matter what I'm doing, it's what I enjoy doing, and that's where my focus is at. When I was working at 1UP, whether it was doing the video stuff, the podcast stuff, the writing stuff, that's what I put my heart and soul in. I don't know any other way to be. But when I realized that there was an opportunity to move to a studio, I had to make a decision of did I really want to do the community stuff, or did I want to try to do something else? And so the first time we talked, we just realized it wasn't necessarily a good fit, and sort of went away. And I thought, oh, that was my one shot. I'll probably never get that opportunity again. And being a huge Halo fan, it was tough, but about a year later, another opportunity presented itself that allowed me to sort of do some hybrid stuff, to do some video stuff, do some podcast stuff, but also sort of start to try to work behind the scenes on training up to work on some of the design stuff. And I've been fortunate that between Frank and Allison Stroll, who is my former manager on the franchise media team, they were really supportive of me to give me this opportunity. Josh Holmes, who's our creative director, definitely allowed me some leeway to be able to get this opportunity. So I owe a lot of people a lot of debt of gratitude. I think anytime you do anything worthwhile in life, there's other people who have helped along the way. You can't do it on your own. So I've been very fortunate, but I've been working very hard for a long time. So it was sort of a slow process.
Well, I was going to say, because it's design in particular.
Yeah.
Because that's, I don't know a thing about programming. I don't have any artistic skills.
You and I both, brother.
I know how to write and I know how to talk.
But you say you have no artistic experience, but there's different types of art, and writing is definitely an art and a skill.
Yeah, I mean, talking like visual art.
Is my nose brown?
No, it's good.
That's pretty good, right?
Good. This interview's going so well. But yeah, like usually to get into design, typically, right, you work your way up generally like through the QA testing ranks, right?
Yeah, a lot of people
do. Sort of earn your stripes that way.
Yeah, and I like I said, I've been fortunate. I'm just for a while there, I was basically working 2 jobs. I was training up on everything, but also doing my day job and trying to make sure that I'm juggling all these plates and actually not letting anyone down and not letting anything slip through the cracks. Someone who you know pretty well, Kynan Pearson, he definitely took me under his wing, and I've learned a ton from Kynan. He's been in the industry forever, one of the smartest people I know.
The lead multiplayer level designer on Halo 4, who's the man largely responsible for the very awesome contingent of Halo 4 maps, which, I might add, we're doing regular tours of, all 10.
Every Tuesday
Halo
and Thursday.
4 every Tuesday and Thursday at IGN.com. Very well played.
You guys nailed that plug.
Well done. How organic was that, by the way? That was great.
So just basically working on that. I do a little bit of everything. Like one of the cool things about working on Spartan Ops is that as the mission designer, you basically, because these are sort of bite-sized mission experiences.
Yeah, so it's a 4-player co-op campaign that sort of, for reasons I don't quite understand, replaces Firefight. Firefight's gone. It was a cool new thing in ODST. Bungie brought it back for Reach. Why is Firefight? Before we get into Spartan Ops, why not bring Firefight back? I mean, it's one thing to, okay, we have Spartan Ops now, but why ditch Firefight? Is it just a time thing? Are you guys going to pocket it and reintroduce it as a new thing for Halo 5? Why get rid of it?
Well, so, I mean, ultimately, everything in life comes with a cost benefit. You only have so many people, you have only so many hours and so many things that you can work on. And so when we were deciding what the feature package for Halo 4 was going to be, we were trying to figure out, we liked Firefight, but we felt like Bungie had really gone as far as they could do. They basically gave fans almost every tool imaginable to customize that experience however they wanted to. And it went in more of an arcade-style experience. So,
very true.
Which was pretty interesting because it was more survival-oriented in ODST. And so we felt like Bungie did a really good job and had really explored that area pretty far. And we decided early on we wanted to do something different. And Spartan Ops, even from the early days when I started at the studio, Spartan Ops was the part of the project that excited me personally most as like a gamer and a fan of the series because it's very new and it's very different. And we felt like there was the opportunity. And people like playing against the enemies. We refer to it internally as PvE.
Player versus enemy.
Yeah, versus like PvP. And people like that. But we thought that we could do something different and actually provide a more campaign-like experience because people were always clamoring for these campaign experiences. They wanted to continue these huge epic stories after the campaign ends. They didn't want to wait multiple years. And so we saw Spartan Ops as an opportunity to actually do some very big experimentation. I don't think anyone's quite done anything like what we're attempting with this. And it just made sense. I mean, I think for fans of Firefight, they're going to get a lot of that same experience, that same enjoyment of fighting against
like waves of tough guys,
fighting against the Covenant, being challenged. Having your gun, having your squad mates, your 3 squad mates around your side, and in overcoming seemingly insurmountable odds. And so we think it's absolutely going to. It's the term we use, scratch that itch, that particular itch.
But there's a cream for that.
Yes, it's called Halo Halo 4, and it's available November 6th.
That's a $60 cream.
But we thought there was an opportunity to do something more with it and actually continue the story after the campaign ends and sort of help bridge those years between mainline campaigns to keep the universe alive and constantly moving forward.
So it's a 4-player weekly downloadable side co-op campaign. Essentially.
It literally does pick up, sort of a lot of the narrative strings and layers that take place in the main campaign. It continues kind of the overarching story arc and moving the universe forward.
Should I finish the single player campaign before playing Spartan Ops?
Yes.
Am I going to spoil anything if I roll into Spartan Ops first?
Yes.
Okay.
So we absolutely recommend. I mean, you could go in some of the missions and not necessarily spoil a whole lot. We're cognizant of that in the early weeks of content that we've sort of planned out. But the CG series that's debuting alongside Spartan Ops. I guess I should explain it just in case there's people out there that don't.
There's a lot going on with this game.
Yeah. Okay. So Spartan Ops. What am I downloading every week?
So basically, you have the main campaign. And then you have the other main component of the Halo 4 is the Infinity multiplayer experience, which combines war games, which is kind of our competitive multiplayer, which people will recognize.
Yeah, tried and true stuff.
We sort of wrapped this fictional kind of wrap around everything. The war games are actually taking place on board the UNSC Infinity. That's how big this simulation is. It's a simulation, basically. It's training Spartans to fight the best, and the best, of course, are other Spartans, so fighting against one another. The other component of it is Spartan Ops, which is kind of live fire missions on the ground, boots on the ground. You're sent out there. These are the best of Spartans that are going to take care of business that the UNSC needs taken care of. And so Spartan Ops, we're basically, in essence, kind of launching a TV series this year, where we have a computer-animated series, a generated series. It's super high production quality that will kind of tell the story of Fire Team Majestic, which is a fire team of Spartans on board the Infinity. You'll also continue the story of some characters from the main campaign in Halo 4 that you're introduced to. And it's basically kind of telling a little bit about life aboard the Infinity. Some crazy stuff happens. And then in addition to that, you basically have 5 missions or chapters which tie in and continue the story of the CG episodes that you see each week. And those are the missions that you'll actually play with you and 3 friends on co-op, and those are the things. So you'll get 5 of those missions or chapters each week, and the CG series. And we've announced 10 weeks of content,
10 weeks,
50 missions for this season of Spartan Ops.
Boy, it's almost confusing because there is you called it a TV series. There actually is a TV series, Forward Unto Dawn, which is 5 weeks that are airing now on Halo Waypoint.
Yeah, so in some ways, Forward Unto Dawn, which takes place way before the events of Halo 4.
Like 20 years or something.
Yeah, and that deals with some elements of the Master Chief and his meeting this Thomas Lasky, which is a character that you'll also be introduced to in the campaign. And so their experiences of actually in that time period at the Corbulo Military Academy will absolutely have an effect. And so if you watch that series, you don't have to watch it, but if you do watch it, you'll actually get some extra context for when Commander Lasky and the Master Chief are actually reunited after decades. That they actually get to, so that when Lasky walks up to the Master Chief, they already know each other and they have this whole history, and you don't need to know
buddy.
that. Yeah, you don't need to know that to get at the thing. But that's part of what we decided when we first formed the studio, that we decided that every story we're telling, whether it's in the game or in books or comics or whatever it is, they all matter. They're all legitimate. They all have an effect on this universe. So
the omission of Firefight kind of is making a little bit more sense to me now from a philosophical perspective on 343's approach to Halo 4, because the campaign is all about the narrative of Master Chief. The war games, the multiplayer is wrapped in a narrative. Spartan Ops is pushed with a narrative. Firefight is an arcade thing and doesn't really fit into that mix. So I'm sure ultimately, there was the nuts and bolts decision of we don't have time or money or manpower for this, but it is your answer is a valid one. In this, I'm not just sitting here feeling shorted as a fan, like, oh, they're just spinning that because that's a stupid PR spin answer. But no, that is a legitimate answer that, it doesn't really fit in with the narrative focus of the rest of the components
as a player, like, I totally appreciate the idea that we're getting something new in place of it. It's not just, oh, here's the tried and true multiplayer, here's Firefight, here's everything you want. Instead, it's like, here's something you don't necessarily know that you want. Here's something that you can have sustainable over the course of 10 weeks.
And when, I'm not saying anything controversial here. And everything that makes up Spartan Ops, it's a substantial amount of content, way more than Firefight, because it's sort of Firefight, which I enjoy very much. It's sort of a static. You play it and you can change certain parameters, but it's sort of the same thing every time. But we're going to continuously having new content. So
and
the Halo 4 is always, it's every time you log in, it's going to be new. If you log in and you haven't been online in a week or so,
are weekly challenges and all that stuff coming back?
Yeah. So challenges are coming back. I don't know if we've gone way detailed dive on them or anything, but I think there was a portion of Halo Reach's suite of offerings that we actually really enjoyed, and the community especially really seemed to enjoy the challenges. We introduced custom challenges through Halo Waypoint, and those are definitely coming back too, and we'll have some more information on the details specifically as we kind of lead up to launch.
So I could post a challenge that says Mitch. Can I direct it at one person, or are we talking about that later? All those details. Or
so
what?
I mean, you can actually do custom challenges in Reach right now, so you can log on and kind of see how that's worked in the past. And like I said, we'll have some more specific information on how that stuff works as we get closer to launch. But
right.
I think if you're a fan of challenges in Halo Reach, we have more and better and awesomer stuff coming for you.
The Spartan Ops missions, they're not just things built in Forge, right? These are full on.
Yeah, we use the same tool sets as campaign. I mean, it's the same stuff. I mean, in essence, it is very similar. There are some different design constraints in how we've kind of designed our missions compared to campaign, because they are smaller. But all the missions within a week sort of flow together, and they all have these narrative strings that tie into the overarching series. I've sort of talked about this before. It's like we're telling all these stories in Spartan Ops and in Halo 4, and so in Spartan Ops specifically, it's like this kind of Russian nesting doll of we're telling these stories within each mission.
Tim Schafer would love to hear you say this.
and then you have the stories within the mission that carry over to the other missions within that week, and then you have these meta stories within those weeks which tie in to the CG series, and that stuff all ties into the continuing story of the Halo universe post-campaign. So you have all these different things that are all working in conjunction. We're very fortunate to have an amazing narrative team headed up by Armando Trossi. Brian Reed's one of the writers I work with very closely. We have just an amazing team across the board, and that's one of the fun things with Spartan Ops. You have the designers, you have the artists, you have the narrative folks. We're all working together to kind of tell these stories and craft these experiences.
So tell me, kind of, I'm curious, as somebody who was in games media and is now a designer in game development. So what, walk me real quick through your day. Like, what is it that you do? What is it to be a mission designer on Spartan Ops? What do you sit down and do all day?
Are you building levels? Are you writing? Are you what's your life?
One of the fun things is that what we're doing so new. It's like we really had to establish what it means to make these missions and to make this episodic content. We had to we had to learn how to do it. And so really, what we do is we have these planning meetings and we plan out like weeks of content. We plan out episodes, and then we work with the designers, we work with the narrative team, we work with the artists to plan out where you're going to be going, what you're going to be doing. But within the confines of each mission that you're responsible for, the designer basically has, almost no limits. It's absolute control. I mean, there are technical limitations and resource limitations and stuff, but really you can kind of do whatever you want to. So we'll work with the artists to tweak the actual geometry of levels and, tweak things and make changes to it. And then we'll work with the other designers within the week's worth of missions to make sure that story-wise we're picking up after the CG series and continuing that thread forward and kind of continuing it through the week and leading up to the next week's content. And then we work on the missions. Like, this is what we're going to do. You're going to go, point A, you're going to do thing X, you're going to fight thing Y.
Okay.
And you're going to time all these things out. So we script the encounters, in some cases hand script stuff, so I had to learn how to code and do all that stuff. We have some tool sets that we use that allow us to basically run the game engine on the fly, make changes to stuff.
Yeah.
So we can immediately play test stuff and be like, oh, that's not working quite right, and let's change this, let's rebuild, and let's play through it again. So it's just constant iteration. We basically do, we have pretty rapid iteration. We're very, very agile group because we're a fairly small group from the design side, so we're able to iterate really, really quickly and make changes to things. So basically, we'll get an entire mission, the core of it, kind of bare bones, up and running in a week.
Oh, wow.
And then, we just keep iterating and keep polishing and keep play testing, just keep playing. And, like, we're our own harshest critics, so we'll play each other's missions and be like, man, that sucked, or holy crap, I've never seen what you just did. I've never seen anyone do that. That's really cool. And so we're very fortunate. Chris Luke is the lead Spartan Ops designer. Just amazing guy. I couldn't have a better team. I couldn't have a better boss. And I feel very, very lucky to be where I'm at and doing what I'm doing.
And so what you're saying is my ticket out of here... Sorry, Mitch. Could be.
It's all right. Take me with you.
I don't really need programming skills or visual artistic skills.
I can be my talentless self.
If I understand games, I could eventually... grow up and get a real job.
People are only limited by what they do or what they think they can't do. I was sort of just kind of thrown in the deep end, and I had a trial period where they were like, okay, we're going to give you a shot. But if that hadn't worked out, I would have gone back to doing what I was doing. Yeah. I was fortunate that I was able to I guess, pull it off, or I'll say we're just desperate enough that I was the right guy in the right time. I don't know.
You'll do.
I think only time will tell, but I'm really excited for people to get a chance to actually be playing stuff that I made that I still grin every time I actually think about that, and it's a fun time.
All right, well, David Ellis, thanks for stopping by on your trip down from Seattle. Halo 4, of course, out November 6th. Everybody listening to this podcast damn well better be buying it, otherwise why are you listening to this podcast? Spartan Ops, weekly episodes starting on launch day.
Yep.
5 chapters, 5 missions,
yep.
Consist of episode 1, along with the CG video, and there'll be that same similar structured package every week for an additional 9 weeks, and then maybe a season 2 down the road.
As we talked about earlier, I'm actually going to be getting on a plane right after I finish this podcast and going right back to the studio, because we're still making Spartan Ops. We're still creating these experiences. So
I want to be an NPC. Make me a Marine.
And maybe we could work something out. Let's talk off mic. But yeah, we're still working pretty hard on this first season, and you know, who knows what the future can hold. But right now, we don't have any plans other than finishing this season off and launching Halo 4 come November.
All right, David, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Unlock Block. Can you take on the challenge?
Thank you very much, Mr. David Ellis. Remind me never to go at that man with a knife, because he will probably kill me. He knows what to do.
He's a smart dude. David Ellis.
He's been stabbed before.
He has good stories.
Yeah. He does.
Yeah.
He does. He's a good guy. Get
me a job. No, I'm just kidding.
We come to the Unlock Block, which of course is our trivia segment where I test my two bros, Destin and Mitch, with an Xbox-related trivia question that you, the listeners / readers / whatever you are, because we're multimedia now. I don't even know what those people are.
Listeners, readers, watchers,
listeners,
tweeters,
readers, watchers,
Facebookers.
viewers. Yeah, all that stuff.
Likers,
dislikers.
Why
we got some of those.
That? Why?
Stop sending Ryan mean emails.
Yeah, what all of you people consuming this form of media are, whatever you are.
Yeah.
The questions come from you guys. And this week's comes to us from a gentleman who only supplied his gamer tag, MindArch1. All one word, MindArch1.
Can we call him Mindarchy?
Let's see how many friend requests we can get this guy. How do you spell his gamer tag?
It's all one word, MINDARCH1, number 1.
So if you want to spam some guy
friend
requests, well, I'm going to do it.
Friend requests are okay. Don't spam him, though. Don't spam him with with
just
bad.
one.
The Beyond guys have a segment where every week they have somebody give their PSN ID. And then they share it for the listeners to become best friends. Maybe we've created some best friends.
Mm-hmm. Well, I hope so.
Yeah.
Well, MindArch1 is now the proud owner of Guitar Hero Van Halen.
All right.
Because I have chosen his question for this week's Unlock Block, and it is this for you guys. I'll go to Destin first.
Okay.
As a follow-up to our trivia question last time, the top-rated game on Metacritic for Xbox. Yeah, he counters with a simple but yet awesome question. What is the lowest rated Xbox 360 game according to Metacritic? So both IGN and, of course, factoring in all of our media peers. Is it A, Hannah Montana, the movie, the game? B, Self-Defense Training Camp, which was a Kinect title? Yaris, which was a Toyota weird tie-in thing, or D, Hulk Hogan's Main Event, which was another Kinect game that I can personally attest to its horribleness. It's yeah.
Can I see it?
The answer is not here, so you're welcome to take a look.
Okay, I will say Self-Defense Training Camp.
A game which I gave a 1.0 last year.
Oh, wow.
1.0. I actually really liked writing that review because I got to be negative without being mean. It's just like, why does this exist? Who is this for? You get to kick people in the balls for pretend for $60. Thanks.
It's full price?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Well, $50. It's a Kinect game.
Yeah.
Kinect price is $50.
I assume Yaris you get for buying a Toyota or something.
No. Yaris, it was free forever.
Oh, okay.
And that game was like, so because I reviewed Self-Defense Training Camp, I probably would have picked that, but because you did, I'm going to say Yaris, because that game was just awful. It's just this like meaningless, there was no soul to it. It's like you hold right trigger and go forward racing game. It's this horrible advertisement game where you can only play as one dumb car. The game is bad.
Well, pleased to report that one of you is exactly correct.
Okay.
The person who will be going home
in a Yaris.
With a copy of Yaris.
So,
which is free.
Destin,
Oh.
you should kick Mitch in the balls self-defense training camp style because he is correct. He is the winner. It's Yaris. Yes, the adver game.
I could see you trying to spin that in your head like, how do I form this? I've got it. I just got to build it.
So to
I've got
clarify
it.
to our listeners, Mitch won.
Mitch won.
What's Yaris?
It's Yaris.
And I don't need to kick him in the balls. I'm going to get him a copy of Yaris.
A 17 on Metacritic.
Oh,
the rest of these were in the low 20s.
Before you even listed what they were, my immediate response was Bomberman Zero or Bullet Witch.
Bomberman Zero, I reviewed myself. And that was, I mean, how that ever even got green lit, how somebody at Konami didn't go, or Hudson. Konami bought Hudson later, that's why I said that. But how someone at Hudson didn't go, this is pooping all over our brand. And not only that, it's just a horrible, horrible game.
Right.
Oh, that game was terrible. Like, so if you died in the 99 stages, you had to start over from stage 1.
Oh, God.
And the visual style was appalling, and the camera sucked. It was 3D. Yeah, that game was bad. I'm surprised that's not somewhere on this list as well.
When you brought up bad games, the first Xbox-related title that ever pops in my head is Malice. Remember Malice on original Xbox?
Yeah. I forgot that even came out.
I was excited for it.
Really?
And I got
was it because Gwen Stefani was a hero or whatever?
Oh, it was?
I think so, yeah.
She was involved in that game.
Yeah.
Oh, I had no idea. But no, I was excited because, I don't know, a female lead
Destin
character.
had no doubts about that game.
You beat me to it, bastard.
I get the fun this week.
Nice. Anyway, bad game. Yeah, I can't top the fun.
So, boy, that one was fun. Mind Arch won. Well played. Excellent question.
And he got some friends.
You're going to get some friends and
free
a copy.
Friends, free game. What more do you want?
And a copy of
IGN.com.
Guitar Hero Van Halen, which is
Maybe
not
they can play together.
a terrible game. It's you just have to like Van Halen. That's the secret. So if you'd like a shot to win, send your Xbox related trivia question to unlocked@ign.com. Include the full question, 4 multiple choice answers. Note the correct one in there, please. Your shipping address, so that I know where to send Guitar Hero Van Halen to, as well as your gamer tag if you'd like some new friends. And we will pick someone else. I'll pick a good question that I think is good, and we'll play again next week. And so,
the end.
no segue needed.
Nope.
Because we don't have one.
Can our segue just be that we all stand up and walk out that door?
I hear on Twitter every now and again that some people find our bumpers annoying. But you know what? An awesome fan made those. If you don't like them, make me better ones. Make your own.
Yeah,
that is the solution, because I think they add flavor to the show myself.
Bumpers for what? What do you mean?
Between segments.
We have little music jingles.
Oh yeah, I made little animations for all of them.
Yes,
yeah, dude, that's rad.
That's great. Yeah. I love it. This show's coming together in video form.
If you have better ones, submit them.
Yeah,
I would love.
That was not just an empty challenge.
I would love to see some other options.
Well, that's what happened. That's how we got. Rory is the name of the gentleman who made the bumpers we have now.
Oh wow!
And that's when I first started here at IGN, we didn't have any, and I put out the call, and he was like, "Hey, I made a bunch for you. Here you go." And so, feel free to and to Rory, I won't replace yours. We'll just rotate them. If you want to make some, send them, and we'll just put them on rotation, and we'll get everybody involved. So there. I love you all.
Before you get into the pimpage, before we start promoting ourselves, the IGN Unlocked Facebook group, which if you just search Podcast Unlocked on Facebook, you can see that group. You can join that group. It's a lovely community full of excellent people.
We've had a number of new entrants to that community over the last week or so.
It's bumping in there. There's a lot of people. Lots of the comment threads are like 50 comments deep. It's crazy.
Did you just say it's bumping in there?
It's bumping in there. Yeah.
We just lost 3 likes.
Everyone just left. So this weekend that you were listening to this show, which was the date? October. Where's my phone? Today that we are posting this is Thursday, October 18th. Probably later for the video. But this weekend on Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern, that group is starting Extra Life, which is a 24-hour marathon where they play games for charity. So they are collecting money now. If you go to that Facebook group. And if you can't find something immediately, just ask them for the link, or they'll be linking it all week, and then over the weekend, donate to that charity. Like, give them money. Give any of those, like, whether it's Mike or Nick or Aubrey, somebody, just give them money to help heal sick kids, because that is an amazing cause.
Yes, absolutely.
That thing is legit. I love it. I used to do it every year, and this year I just don't have time. I wish I did, but I'm going to stop by and hang out with those guys, jump on their podcast sometime this weekend.
Excellent. Good stuff. As for, now you've taken all the wind out of our own plugs because they're just far less important to the world.
Follow me on Twitter, I guess.
So
they're gonna do things for children. You could follow me on Twitter and inflate my ego.
Yeah.
Well,
look at this stupid thing I took a picture of.
Well, we can put it this
way. I
way.
thought of a witty joke.
That's
not that funny.
There's the episode title. Look at this stupid thing I took a picture of.
Please indulge yourselves in all of our things we're about to plug, because if you do, that ensures that we have jobs so that we can keep doing this.
Yeah.
So that works, right? That's
unless they don't want that. Then we're in trouble.
Then why are they listening to this?
Don't unfollow me on Twitter, please. If I dip below 7,000 followers, I'm fired.
It's true. Yeah.
Sad. And it is true.
Yeah.
No, seriously.
Anyway, yes, follow Mr. Destin Legary on Twitter at Destin Legary, DestinLegarie.
I got somebody submitted a pretty good one. It was Stewie Destiny. From last episode, I said, if you can think of a better Twitter handle, send it to me.
What is
Stewie
Destiny?
And I did the Stewie thing. You said Stew, and I was like, Stew. Oh, I'm fat. So somebody said Stewie Destiny.
All right.
Well played.
Not bad. That's a start.
Yeah.
He'll sell you that Twitter handle for the low price of $99. Yeah. At Mitchie D. Mitchell Dyer on Twitter, and me, you can find me at DMC_Ryan. And, of course, at IGN, we'll tweet out all of our biggest, hottest headlines to you from across the IGN website. And, hang out on our little corner of the site, IGN.com/Xbox-360. We're continuing, as Mitch mentioned earlier, our Halo 4 multiplayer map tours.
Those are awesome.
All 10 maps. Haven just went up, which is one of my favorite Halo 4 multiplayer maps so far.
Super Promethean.
Yeah. And then we've got, of course, the Halo 4 review coming up on November 1st, midnight Pacific. You're going to want to stay up late. East Coasters, I don't know if I'd tell you to stay up till 3 a.m.
You can just get up at 7 when you go to work and just read it.
And it'll still be there. It'll still be there.
They'll probably still be playing Halo.
I probably. So, no, they won't. Not on November 1st.
Oh, yeah, it's out on 6th.
Reviews, so they've got no excuse.
Yeah. No excuses.
So check out, that's our biggest thing coming up. But we've got more Halo content coming for you in between now and then. Actually, a lot more. It's sort of disturbing. I would say 80% of my time right now is being spent on Halo 4 things.
The Halos.
So that gives you an idea of how big a deal it is for us. Mitch, you are working on a review of... Tell the listeners why there's no Medal of Honor Warfighter review right now.
So we're putting up a video on Monday that explains this a little deeper, but I've been playing Medal of Honor a little bit. I've been playing the beta, which is over now on 360. I've played single player at a bunch of events. We've seen a bunch of stuff, all the stuff that you guys saw on like our E3 live stage.
But we don't have our final copy
yet, we don't have a copy of the game because EA won't give it to us.
That's always a good sign.
So I'm going to have a copy the day that any of you could have a copy. But, word of advice, wait for my review before you go and spend $60 on Medal of Honor Warfighter.
You're saying I should trust you.
I'm a pretty trustworthy guy.
He is. It's true. It's true. And what else?
I don't know.
Are there any other major review? I guess that's kind of that's the big one for next week, right?
Yeah.
It's the big game for next week. Destin, are there any video awesomeness things of yours that we can go look at right now, or are you just working on stuff?
Well, the David Ellis interview, that's coming up.
That'll be a standalone video.
Well, it'll be
in here too.
In here also.
Okay, yeah.
So
you just watched it. Mm-hmm. Or if you didn't go to YouTube or IGN.
You can watch what you just heard.
So I'm doing this podcast thing. It's called Podcast Unlocked.
Sorry, what? What's that?
Yeah, maybe you guys have heard of it.
I'm not familiar.
No, it's just, as always, go to IGN.com/wikis for all of your walkthrough help.
Yes.
That's my main job. I do guide-related content, and then I get to do cool stuff like this.
Yeah, Dishonored wiki if you want to find all the bone charms and all the secrets in there.
Bethesda Evil 6. I finished Borderlands 2. I'm working on another one, and we'll be working on another one after that, which is going to be very busy right now.
Yeah, it's a crazy time.
You've been helping me out with some of the Halo things as well, so it is a all hands on deck effort. And then Halo's not the only big game. You've been working on all the big AAA games for the wiki stuff.
The wiki's corner is like dangerous spoiler territory for all the games I care about right now.
Mm-hmm. Just be careful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we have it all. It's all sectioned off, right? Into like if you go to the Halo 4 section.
I think he means when he walks by our desk.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like when I walk by.
The website is safe.
The website's
fine. Like, don't go watch Ending if you don't want to see the ending. I hate that when ending videos go up. People are like, "Why would you post this?" It's like
it ruined things for me.
It's clearly labeled, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, all the people who are playing video games at the wiki section of the office is that's a dangerous.
Yeah, we should
place.
really hide you guys upstairs or something.
Yeah, we should really be in the basement.
Yeah.
Or in a
Put them in a
closet
dungeon
somewhere. Yeah.
We'll slide pizza and tortillas and other flat foods under the door for you. All right. For Destin Legary and Mitch Dyer, I'm Ryan McCaffrey. Most of you catch us on iTunes, where you can subscribe for free. Just search for Podcast Unlocked in the iTunes Store search field. Zune Marketplace as well, IGN.com, and wherever finer podcasts are sold. So we will see you again next week, and I've got more. We've got another Halo 4 interview, the one I promised last week that we instead had David Ellis this week. More Halo 4 next week, so stay tuned back.
Halo 4 all the time.